Hello, everyone, and welcome to the July 2014 State of the Guild for Inevitable Trail. So we are off and running, and so we are here at the Kersari Wilds, checking out the paddlefish schools and having some fun. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. So first off, as we always do, let's talk about achievements, because after all, we're all high-performing and achievement-driven individuals. Otherwise, we wouldn't be inevitable. So for July, it's been about a month and a half since last time we did a presentation. So we've got the Guild Outland Raider. We've got a lot of stuff that happened with the retro raids, and Becca's going to cover that when we reach that area. But we did get the Guild Outland Raider. We've also accomplished a Ordos Guild run. We've also got That's a Lot of Turn-ins, which is basically us completing 100,000 quests as a guild. So we've done an awesome job there with that. In addition, we're making progress on the Stay Classy. We have it almost. We are looking for Troll Hunter, a Troll Warlock, a Tauren Death Knight, and a Tauren Priest. So these are the last pieces we need before we go ahead and get the Classy tab. So basically, if you're looking for an alt, or if you have an alt and maybe you don't necessarily like the race that your current alt is, feel free to transfer somebody over to a Troll or a Tauren as you want. Basically, what we need to do to get the achievement is to hit 85 and to be honored with the guild. So lots of people are having fun with that. I know Jabber's working on that, but everyone can feel free to chip in on that as you have alt fever. So we definitely have a lot of altaholics in our group. In July, what we did is we finished 191 of 252. We've caught 35,524 fish as of July 18th, so I'm sure you'll go there. Yes, we have some people saying, I don't have a problem. I can stop having alts anytime I want. So next up we have completed as a guild. We completed 40,400 dailies. We've been after the battlegrounds a lot lately. We've got 61,946 honorable kills. We're working on our way up to 100,000. And the critter kills. So Jerry has been busy and going after the critters. And we're at 84,200. In May, here's our numbers for May. So you can see the quests completed are no longer on our list because we actually went ahead and completed that. So we did a good job with that. And basically the last month what we did is we completed 7 achievements. We've caught 4,800 fish. We've completed 4,700 dailies. We've killed 6,500 alliance. Yay! And we've killed 6,100 critters. And we've completed 4,100 quests. So we've been pretty busy while we've been running out. For our top weekly contributors, we have Zorista, so our newest guildie. So congratulations, Zorista. She went ahead and got our first rank for the weekly contributors. After that, it was Maquette. Then it was Renhar. I mean, it's Renhar. Since there's Renhar and there's Renhar with two A's. Evelia Death. I have no idea whose alt that is. And then also we have our newest 90, Soupy Sales. So Soupy Sales, congratulations. Our top lifetime contributors have seen a shake-up.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun. And apparently so has my guild. So has my Google Hangout. There we go. Now it's going to probably misbehave some more. So we have a new #1 all-time lifetime contributor to the guild.
Yay!
Yay! And I'm sure nobody's more surprised than Becca. Becca is now our #1 ranked lifetime contributor. She has passed the mighty Shemai with a 8 million point effort over the last month, and so she now claims the top spot with 296 million points. Shemai, has dropped. Sorry, Shemai. I'm so sorry.
To a meager 296 million.
Exactly, to a meager 296.
The shame.
It's a shame. And Becca almost like lapped you.
I know. I know.
She 500,000 more points, and she would have
she did the afterburners there.
And Izzy is still at third with 230 million. So congrats, Izzy. Nada. And then Lotus is there with 216. Congrats, Lotus. And then also we have Dorisona is rounding out the top 5 with 194,000, almost 195 million achievement points. So congratulations, everybody. Awesome job. Thank you for all you do for the guild. And all I have to say is, Shemai, aim high.
I know. Got my work cut out for me now.
It was all their time spent on bacon. That's what it is. So we're going to go ahead and turn it over to Kay and others to talk about Inevitable at ISTE.
Okay, ISTE happened just a little while ago, about 2.5 weeks ago. So we do have some screenshots, or I shouldn't say screenshots, because we were there in real life. And since we were there in real life, we'll show you a little about where we went. And you should be seeing it. It's Atlanta. We went to this conference center, and we met up with certain people. And does anybody know who these two people are? And you can go ahead and get a mic or type it in chat, in guild chat. Either way works.
I believe that's Trish.
Yes.
And the mysterious Izzy.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure. We'll have to check. We'll have to check back in some other pictures. Now this. Anybody who this is? Any ideas? Don't jump on mic all at once. So from left to right, that would be Chris.
There's Chris, yeah.
And then that's Laurel. We can't officially get her into WoW yet, so we mainly visit with her in Second Life. And then the person who's chugging the water, Grid.
Mm-hmm.
Grid.
Yes,
That's
and then
Grid.
the last person opening up the Coke is Blue.
Blue.
Oh, great shot.
Yay.
Okay, then this is obviously Trish about to be taken away by that man in black standing like directly behind her, and this was Trish continually like hour upon hour talking about Minecraft. Then this is basically peeking over the shoulder at, we actually did a LAN party. We stayed longer than we were supposed to. They only wanted us to have 1 hour, but we closed down the place. But it wasn't really impressive because it was only about 3 hours. But we did our best attempt at a LAN party. And then this House of Shemai has some competition. Okay,
Really?
This is Hordeware. It's Kamorio Hordeware. And not only did she bring her wares to ISTE, she even did a presentation about Ravelry, the knitting community, and it being an informal online community. And she was so good that one of the ISTE board members came over to her and were like, "Can I have your card? Tell me more about you. This is wonderful." And everything else that goes along with that.
Well, that
Way
is
to go,
cool.
Cam.
People were very kind.
Well, you know, with the popularity of maker spaces,
Mm-hmm.
that is exactly something that could be done in a maker space.
I was thinking that I do my 3D printing with yarn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It was.
But you can go ahead and see the Horde purse plus the Inevitable Betrayal potholder. Perfect for Christmas. Okay, and then not only the House of Shemai, but as you can see here, we just don't do fashion shows virtually. We obviously also do fashion shows in real life, and so we have our two models there. And our two models there are Grid is wearing Pandarian wear. and Grid is modeling. The Pandarian wear was actually picked out by Trish. And Grid, can you tell us a little bit more about your outfit there?
Okay, first note the 45-degree angle.
Absolutely. Look at that 45-degree angle when posing for
Blue
that
and I
picture.
did that so well. And Blue's wearing actually a Minecraft tie, and the The hoodie is actually a loaner from Trish. It was so darn cold. But it is a Pandarian hoodie, and I almost took it away from her. I wore it the whole entire time. It was fuzzy and soft and comfy and warm, and she had to rip it off me to get it back, I think, at the end.
And Blue was actually, I think he crafted somehow that tie. That's a Minecraft diamond tie. And then he used black, like Minecraft like blocks and rimmed his glasses around it. So that
Oh, cool.
so that they were showing off their games and sims. And Avakai just typed, I was waiting for Grid to say it was soft and warm, just like a real panda.
Oh, yes, like a real panda.
Well, see, you didn't have your script ready for this. Next time. Okay, and there wasn't the LAN party just didn't happen like at just there. We also took it back to the hotel. And this was and it was funny because the hotel even shut off some of its outlets, so we ended up unplugging the lamp. Chris had a big old Christmas tree like extension light thing, and we all plugged it into the one outlet that was working because we would not be stopped. And as you can see, look, our beverage of choice, that's cheer wine.
Oh, funny.
So we're drinking cheer wine there.
That is awesome.
And did you notice everybody had a really cool mouse? This is where we did our mouse comparisons.
Yes, it was the first one.
I was the only one sans mouse.
and that's where the insecurity came in. And then here's Blue about to start our virtual environments network, looking very serious. And he was very serious about giving prizes.
Could we go back one? Because I think there's one individual still yet to be identified.
Well, I don't know. I don't know who that is.
Can anyone guess who the person is there? Who's striking that thinker pose?
It's Hemo.
Timo.
Are you sure?
Would that be Hematau or Vanatau? One or the other.
Then we have Blue, and then okay. So this is the Machinima crew. Okay, so this is the Machinima judging. Just to let you know how serious. Yeah, and Abakai is not sure that last picture was Hemo because he has a jaw. And we don't know that he's been identified with a jaw before. Okay? So here's the Machinima judging crew. This happened the night before the Machinima, and the judging crew watched each and every Machinima. And watched. And debated over who should win, and until finally there was a winner.
Very spirited debate, I'm sure.
Yeah. and so that ends the ISTE portion kind of with a bang. Oh, and by the way, we use this image for like the little guild mini cards that we gave out. So this was our image. The palette, and if anybody wants any, let me know. I have lots of them. I will mail them to your workplace if you need any. Okay.
You had cards left? I thought they all got gone.
No, there was an extra box that we did not find. That we did not find. So I have an extra box left. So anybody needs them, let me know how many, and I will mail them to you because I'd hate for them to go to waste. But basically, these were this was the image on the little mini card that we gave out. And this was from us doing our first 25 person Immersius.
And they were pretty popular, though.
Oh gosh, all of our cards were hugely popular. And now I'm going to turn it over to the fishing report, unless someone has some comments on those pictures or anything else.
Loved the pictures. That was fun.
Why didn't we have Kay in any of those photographs?
Because Kay was taking the pictures.
She was really strategic, and she's the one that added those pictures to the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
I put one up on Flickr of Kay dancing. Kay and Kat dancing. I figured you would pull it from there.
All right, now on to the fishing report.
The fishing report. Okay, so what's there to say about the fishing report? We'll make it short and sweet. We have been chugging along slowly but steadily, month over month. As you may well know, we've completed 2 of the 4 available guild achievements for fishing. That's a lot of bait. Was completed back in August of 2013. We recently completed, we're going to need a bigger boat in March of this year. And currently we're working on 2 other guild achieves. The first one, Pandarian Angler, where we need only 25,000 fish from pools in Pandaria. We're working on that now, in fact. And as of the time we were putting the slide together this morning, we were at 23,728, so almost 24,000. We are actually at 24,700 now, so that one is just around the corner for us. And then our final guild achieve for fishing is called like shooting fish in a barrel, where we're aiming for about 35,000. At the time of the slide when we put together this morning, it's about 35,614. And right now we're at almost 37, so 36,600. So keep up the fishing. We're, gosh, I can't believe we would take more than another month or so before we've bagged all 4. So yay fishing.
We can't say how much the Save the Guild has helped lead to more fishing.
Yeah, quite a bit more.
All right. Next up, we have Rebecca, and she's going to talk about the retro raid reporting. So take it away, Rebecca.
Up first, the guild got Guild Outland Raider. This is a meta achievement, so it took many months and many guildies to achieve. Thanks to everyone who made this meta achievement possible. Myself, Izzy, Jacori, Dirtraj, Lotus, Cam, Hemo, Grid, Cloud, Atari, Shadowlass, Jabber, Ranhar, Z, Dora, Soupy, Sale, Caravaggio, Lowtide, Duncan, Zinnia Luna, Lori, Web Merchant, and Abdullah. Part of that meta achievement was completing the Black Temple Guild Run. Thanks to the following participants: Ranhar, Banatao, Ispang, Jukori, Yolotis, Jabberwocky, Shadowlass, Atari, Z, and myself. Another part of that meta achievement was the battle for Mount Hyjal Guild Run. Thanks to Soupy Sales, Banatao, Natalie Murr, Jacori, Gridded, Lotus, Jabberwocky, Shadowlass, Atari, Z, myself, and Cajon. Several retro raiders have earned the following individual achievement towards the meta achievement Glory of the Firelands Raider, which rewards the corrupted egg of Nilagazar. Only the penitent activate both Fandle's flames at once in Firelands without any raid member getting hit by Nil to the flame. Which sounds difficult and is even more difficult than it sounds.
I think you did a good job presenting that. And I will say that a lot of people are saying thank you for all the for leading all of the retro raids and doing all the work you do to get those organized and running.
Hear, hear.
On the next slide, you can see on the next slide, you can see a picture of the mount that you get from that meta achievement that I was talking about.
Oh, wow.
A corrupted firehawk mount hatches from the corrupted egg of Milagazar.
Very cool.
The guild also got the achievement, the Twilight Zone Guild Edition, which I just like the name of that achievement, the Twilight Zone Guild Edition. With all 3 Twilight Drakes still alive, engage and defeat. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that guy's name. Onyx Guardian while in a guild group. So thanks to Jabberwocky, Venatal, Jacori, Yolotish, Shadowlass, Atari, Z, and myself. The instance has the chance to drop a mount for 1 lucky recipient. On 25 player mode, the Reigns of the Twilight Drake drops. And on 10 player mode, the Reigns of the Black Drake drops. Completing this instance also rewards the following titles: 25 player mode, Twilight Vanquisher, and on 10 player mode of the Nightfall. And on this side, we see a picture of the mounts, the Twilight and Black Drake, obtainable within the Obsidian Sanctum in Dragonblight at Wormwest Temple.
Becca, we have a question for you, and this is something that Cam was asking about. Do we have Molten Core 25 guild member?
We have tried, and for that particular achievement, you need 10 guildies. And we have tried 3 or 4 times. Molten Core is actually the first retro raid I went to with guildies.
Would you consider us possibly leading us there maybe this Thursday evening instead of the R&D run?
I would be happy to.
Okay. Not to put you on the spot during the live broadcast and ask you that, but you know.
It is the final achievement that the guild needs for Classic Raider.
Oh.
That is very cool.
That would be very cool.
And I see Lorison, at least I'm going to show real quick. Lorison is showing what a corrupted one looks like in person. So we're getting to see one of the mounts you were talking about live. With Shamai typing in, "Wow, I'm jelly."
Oh, that is awesome.
Oh my gosh.
I only need one more achievement for that mount.
So yes, I'm
wow.
showing people what it looks like over the live stream.
Well, it's like purple flames or something like that for the feathers. I mean,
yeah, I'll do a close-up.
That is awesome.
I shouldn't say I'll do a close-up. He landed on me, so I don't need to do a close-up.
I've got a good shot from, I guess, beneath and to the side right now. That, oh wow, and look,
Okay.
the Black Drake is back there too.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful shot there.
Mine's the Twilight Drake.
The Twilight? Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, these colors are very vibrant.
Well, you know, black goes with everything. So.
Yeah.
Very easy mount to accessorize.
You're like, we'll end up with an all purple fashion show.
That is so cool. Wow, I'm totally jealous. That is an awesome mount. Both of them.
Okay, so our next thing is, and since we know what we're doing on Thursday, what might people be doing tonight? We have a suggestion. It seems that the Belfs have been busy. and Inevitable Tours and Travel is inviting you tonight to the Wanderers Festival on Turtle Beach. And it just so happens to be in Karasang Wilds, exactly where we are now. Now, you might all have to wait a little bit because it's 11 p.m. server time, so it's a little bit from now. But, you know, the thing of it is there's no school tomorrow. So please join the Belfs in Inevitable Tour and Travel for the Wanderers Festival on the beach tonight. And if anybody has anything to say about that, please type it into guild chat, but hopefully everybody can come to it.
Well, now we're going to go on to new business, but first I'm going to say we only have 11 more fish till we hit the 25,000. So,
Really?
Yes, we're almost there. You need 9 more,
Back
8
in the
more.
water, then.
Everyone get ready. 7 more. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. There it is.
Woo!
Nice job, everyone.
Whoa, look at us. So long we can't smell the fish.
Yay! That's awesome.
And of course, having watched the Lego movie recently, everything is awesome. So,
that's
on
cool.
to new business, yes. So first off, we're going to go to help needed. So we'll go ahead and turn this over to Grid, or I can do it, either way. The Google Plus community. I guess I'll do it. Okay.
No,
So,
I'm sorry, I was muted. Help me out if I missed something. But basically, there is a help needed section on the Google Plus community, and we all need a little help from our friends from time to time. So if you need anything or want anything, if you post it up in that section, a little help with getting a legendary cloak, a little help with a particular quest, help perhaps with materials for a profession. If you post it, then people will know. And that's what we're here for. And Chris, you can add, oh, this is what we need. Yes, windwool cloth. Oh gosh, I always need windwool cloth. And why do we need windwool cloth? Because we make celestial cloth out of it. And what do we make out of celestial cloth? We make those really nifty belts and pants for those cloth wearers that are a very high level. And the same goes for the exotic leather and magnificent hides. When someone is leveling now because they've already got those the 496 gear, we've gone to making some of the higher level belts or pants for the new level 90s or just for our level 90s who are already 90 and just don't happen to have that high gear. So help us out with the leather and the cloth so that the crafters can make the necessary garments for the fellow guildies. We need enchant mats so that as you gear up or get new gear, you need to be able to enchant the stuff, and we have enchanters that will be happy to enchant for you. All you have to do is text and send them an email or post it in the Google Plus community, or if you see them online, ask them for it. But if they don't have the mats, they can't do it. So check the bank first. That's what it's there for. Sometimes you get those green things that can be disenchanted. So some of the green gear that nobody needs, if you put them in, a lot of times we end up disenchanting that for the mats to enchant other stuff. Ghost iron ore and bars, of course, that comes in useful when, Chris, what does that come in useful for? Gems. For gems, am I right?
For gems, as well as our alchemists can turn them into trillium bars as well.
Okay, and of course the trillium bars are what you need that's part of the Black Prince quest. As far as I don't know
for legendary
other things, but
yep, along with your secrets, you need to have go ahead and have 40 of those along with your secrets for anyone who's going through that piece.
Yep, that's a lot of ghost iron ore. It goes into a single trillium bar.
Yep. 10.
And the other thing I would add to the list is herbs, because those are kind of used up all the time. Every time you go on quests or dungeon runs or raids, you're going to be using the flasks and the potions. So if you're farming and you don't have an herbalist and you would want to contribute to the good of the group, please place them in the bank so that the alchemists can make flasks and potions for you. And I think that's it. Oh, help needed.
Yes, and also the other part is just a reminder that we do need to go ahead and do dungeon runs and scenarios each week, so it requires at least 3 guildies to do them. So we are at 3 of 7 dungeons so far, so we need 4 more to go before Tuesday. And then we need 7 more scenarios. We're at 9 of 15. So those are also pieces that are out there. And the reason why we do those is because that gives us our guild gold, so we can go ahead and pay for everyone's repairs like we do. So
And
help us help you.
on that note, I actually have a comment about the help.
Yes.
Or anyone working on the secrets, if you're needing trillium bars, let me know.
Oh, and thanks, Izzy. So there you hear it. So if you need additional trillium bars, go ahead and talk to Izzy, and he'll help you out. So progressive rating. What? No sound effect? I have to make my own.
Okay.
You've been there, man. Yeah, thank you very much. Yes.
You're welcome.
Well, now we'll go ahead and we'll turn over to Kay, as my Google Plus has fun again.
Okay, guys, we did really good, especially this week, and especially for how long that we were away for vacations and for doing the conference. So when it comes to this, Chris, you better explain this because I do not know your color coding.
Ha-ha, I'm back on mic. It's an evil ploy. Change the colors so the person talking doesn't know what they are. Ha ha ha. What it is basically, if it's in white, it's basically things we have gone ahead and had on farm. The blues are things that we sort of a little shaky on, and that we're still working towards. And things that are grayed out are things we haven't yet attempted. So that's sort of where we're at. And this includes both our flex group with the whole group as well as the flex progression of the R&D team as well. So what we've had here is we've gone ahead. We are basically still have Wing 1 on Flex. We also have Wing 2 almost on Farm. We're still struggling a little bit with the Shamans and Nazgrim whenever we get there. And then also we're on Malaquark. We're also working on there as well. Malaquark seems to be doing pretty well. And then we also have Spoils and Thoughts completed. And the Progressive Rating team also went ahead and downed Siegecrafter Blackfuse this week as well. So
Yes.
We're 2 away from finishing the Flex run for the Progressive Rating side.
Oh, there's more.
But wait, there's more. So on the 10-player side, because as we know, there's more than one way to raid in World of Warcraft. On the 10-player side, we've downed Immersius, Fallen Protectors, Norsham, Shav Pride, and we also we still are doing decent on Galacross. Sometimes we get a little unfocused. There's just too many things to play with. We also do Juggernaut. We've killed Juggernaut every single time we pass Galacross. We've killed Juggernaut. And also, last night, we went ahead and we killed the Dark Shaman. So, awesome job, everyone. So we downed them for the first time and went ahead and got them down. So, next up, we'll be looking at General Nazgrim for the Progressive Raid team. So, that was that. Obviously, yes, it takes a lot to get a heavily armored cow up in the air like that. So, I am impressed at Kwapi's clearance after all that, but obviously, he was very overjoyed. Basically, where we're at right now is, as a flex group, we are 12 of 14 for R&D flex, and we are 7 of 14 normal. And then also, as a guild running, we're typically running out. We're around 9 out of 14 as a guild run. So we're doing pretty good, guys.
Yeah.
All right. So now the raid
especially
rankings are
given.
coming.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's a little bit of lag.
Oh no, go ahead.
Well, I'm just thinking back. I mean, especially in considering the time when we started, I think we've progressed pretty quickly for our little troop in the time that we've had.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like I said, everyone's doing a really good job. It's kind of fun to be moving around, and like last night, everyone's like, yes, finally, like, yes, we got them down. So looking at our realm matrix that are out there, basically we're looking at the WoW heroes. We are 16th in the realm. You can see we've got our little 12 of 14. Yeah, looks like my little hangout was having fun. There you go. So you can see we're at 12 of 14, so we're almost there with our flex progression. Also, on looking at Guild Ox, what we have is we have our 10-man progress here, and we are at number 18 in the realm. You can see that we can go ahead. We have a couple people that are moving as well with us, so always the competition. We're always after the competition. And next up is looking at the flex progress. We are at 21. We are closing in there, so you can see that there's already quite a bit there because we have some people who are already hitting 14 to 14. And with Guildox, basically, the highest we could move up there is 17. So we're sort of right there in the top tier of what's left as far as finishing up the tier progression. But we are dedicated trying to go ahead and get that done. So we're going to move ahead, and hopefully we'll be meeting with Garrosh. But something else happened. A funny way happened on the way to the presentation tonight. Decided to go on to WoW Heroes after someone's little, I guess we'll call it a suggestion as opposed to a prod. And they said to go ahead and check it out. They said, hey, look at WoW Heroes, and there's some interesting things. I know it's a little there, but what's circled there is the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th ranked healer on the realms are Shammai and Hematau.
Yay! If I have to say so myself.
Yes.
Yay! That's awesome. Seriously.
Now, then we also have Jabberwocky is also there as well, 22nd, and also Jakuri and Ranhar are there, 24th and 25th. So congratulations, everyone. Now, I will say this, Amendable is on here, but she didn't show up on the listing because she was wearing her PvP gear.
Oh, yeah.
And some of your ranking is based off of your PvP gear. So Amendable would have... Exactly. So
now
I'm
that's
sure
probably... That's got to be Ally and Horde, right?
No, this is just Horde. This is Horde.
That's just Horde, really?
Yep. That is out of all the Horde characters.
Wow. We must have had some people switch over. Okay, yeah. Well, one of the things I would note that, we're within the top 30, within the top 25, we have as many people in those rankings as the top ranking guild.
Yes, we do.
Right now.
Yep.
So in terms of inevitable betrayal, making its presence known in the healing ranks, I think we're there. We're starting to, make a name for ourselves.
I think we are. I totally agree. We're definitely moving up there. And like I said, we would have had an additional one there if someone wasn't PvPing. No. That's fine. Have fun with the shotgun. But yeah, it's one of those things where the ranking is tied to the gear, and that's kind of the way it is, as well as your progression and what you've killed so far. So well done, our healers. And just so no one else feels left out, here's our ranged DPSers. So we have Dirtage is up there at 26. So Dirtage is sneaky. So he's up there. He's our top-ranked DPSer.
Oh, wow.
According to WoW Heroes is 26. And then at 29 we have Rebecca. And at 31 we have Nada Lemur. And then we also have Grid. Look at that. Grid sneaking in there. And 38. So that's out of the top. That's all the top range DPS on Horde range DPS. So congratulations,
that's
guys.
Cool.
So well done. And also, just to make sure no one else was left, we have the melee DPS. Look at that. I'm sure everyone's shocked that Jabber's number 8.
Oh, wow.
So Jabber's up there at number 8 as the 8th ranked melee DPS on the realm for Horde. We also have Jakuri is there again. So Jakuri's got multiple tunes here. And also Yansu, so congratulations, Lotus. Yansu is up there at 21. And we have Sarafina. So Gale is there. So Jakuri's there again as well. And then we also have Dora Sona sneaking in there at 32.
Awesome.
So well done, all. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and talk about mergers and acquisitions because, after all, business is so much fun about mergers and acquisitions.
Okay, so we've had questions before to kind of identify what holdings the guild has. So these are, I would say, the holdings or alliances that we have. So first we wanted to mention Rage Quit, the anti-guild. On the alliance side, you can tell it's an anti-guild based on our guild, tabard and insignia. It's gray. Okay? And, and if you join it, you have your choice. You have your choice of being a slacker or disenfranchised, scorned, and I'm probably missing like one of the other ranks. But we don't give you a rank. You choose your own rank. But anyway, basically what it's been a way for us to move things from the Horde side to the Alliance side, and also because we wanted to look at doing some collaborative rating with people who did have Alliance tunes. This is where a number of us, up to 19, decided to go ahead and put one of our ally alts that we had there. So we're currently level 8. It's growing. If you have an ally tune that is disenfranchised, feel free to join the guild. You will feel disenfranchised because people are not over there the way that we're over here on the Horde side, and it's mainly Fridays after retro raids when we're over there. So wanted you to know about Rage Quit, but if you want to help build it, feel free to help build it. We can definitely use it. Okay, our next one, and you might have heard a little bit more this week about arbitrage because of us doing the Metagame book club. Arbitrage is on the Horde side, and it's on Area 52, and this is the highest traffic realm on the Horde side. That's PvE. So this is where we take some of our students. Some of them we do put on Sisters of Elune, but the other ones that we know are coming in for quick economics projects, we'll put them over on Area 52. Arbitrage is not the student guild. It's the guild where we have some, we have some tunes in there. Again, it's basically, think of it as a observation post to be able to go in. And I see Atari's up for disenfranchisement. Yes. But if you ever want, and we'll be doing this because of the book club, and because it's really looking at virtual economics, we'll do some more live streaming from Area 52, so you can really see what it is considered a very, very busy realm looks like, high population, and you can compare and contrast like with what we have. And if any of you guys have been over there in Area 52, please, chime in on what you think about Area 52.
It's a bustling metropolis compared to our sleepy little town. I would say it's definitely, I don't know, it's like, imagine the busiest day at Disney World ever, is what Area 52 strikes me as. So if you're looking for a bit of action and you like being overwhelmed by and overloaded with stimuli, that's the place to go. It is a different scene for sure.
I would agree. Yes, it's definitely not for the faint of heart. It is something that's kind of fun to see so many people running around. And the other thing about it is, just because from the business perspective, is if you're someone who likes to play the market and have fun with the auction house, you'll be pleasantly surprised by Area 52. But be prepared. There is competition.
Yeah.
Yes, Atari said it's Gotham.
Gotham, yeah, totally. Yeah, and as far as the marketplace and the auction house, I mean that's a whole new level of play there. It's crazy.
Yeah, and Area 52 is a realm, so we have a question there of whether it was a realm or not.
Yeah, and like I said, we just have a small holding there. So if we want to show the students like what a very, very busy one looks like, that's continually going, that's where we put the students. If we want students to actually do like a business in World of Warcraft, and we know they'll be in here longer, we put them on this realm because it's easier. It's easier to get them all oriented for this realm realm, while that other realm just goes a little too quick, and we use it more for economic examples. But like I said, if you ever wanted to just make a tune just to plop there, just to we have one. Again, it's pretty deserted other than when we're doing economic reports. So this is even more deserted than the one that I said was deserted before. And okay, and our next one, in case you've forgotten, Cam is our guild master over on Pernolde, and I'll give it to Cam to talk about.
Well, this was the little guild we put together for the party that was held, I don't even remember when, in the spring sometime. And it is on Paranold or Paranoldi. And I think that it probably has no activity at all.
but just saying, if you need to put a tune somewhere, or if say you meet someone and they go, oh, well, I'm on Pernolde, well, it'd be like, oh, well, we have a guild there.
Yes, we do. Yes,
and we did that specifically for an event.
Yes, and there may be future parties by that group.
So we should watch their blog to see the next one.
Yeah.
And speaking of events, Chris, if you could turn back real quick, I have some more information about the event tonight that the Blame It on the Belfs are doing. So if you just go back so that I can tell people, because I've got some breaking information. And this this breaking information on Inevitable Tours is that the festival tonight, there is a level 25 aquatic pet. And it spawns there, and as far as we know, nowhere else, although someone could correct me on that. And if you like to do pet battles, it is one that you will want to get. So as you know, we do a lot more than just raiding here. So let's continue on, and we'll be looking at. So those are basically our three places. We have, and now we're going to move on to summer reading, and people go ahead and chime in. Basically, for our summer rating, we're going to shake it up a bit. On Tuesdays, we're going to do what we've been doing before, so it means Celestials for 30 minutes, and then we're going to go into Wing 1. And while we don't enforce an eye level, here is our suggested eye level that will make the healers smile. Okay? The suggested, yes. And anybody who is at 496 or below, please grab me, please grab Chris, please grab Grid. We will help you get to 520. We've done it on enough tunes. We know all the tricks that will help get your eye level up there quick. What to run, how to convert justice points to justice points to honor points to get 522 gear. So if you need if you're at 496, anywhere from 496 to 519, let us know, and we will figure out a way to help get you to that 520. So just to tell you about that.
There's also something important I'd like to say about Celestials.
Yeah.
So since I just started getting back into Battlegrounds, I discovered that the Celestials had actually given me a bunch of really awesome PvP gear, and I hadn't fully appreciated it before, but now that I'm BGing, those Celestials are my best friends ever, so saving a roll for them every week.
Awesome.
And that's the thing about it, is Celestials will give you 550. We go every week. This is another thing that'll help get this score up for you. And the real reason we want you looking at that score is because there's area of effect damage that happens. And you having 520 means that the healers can heal the overall raid instead of particularly having to focus on you because your health's dropping just because of a lower gear score. I mean, the gear score doesn't really have anything to do with skill level, and it's not going to make you a great player, but it's going to help keep you alive. So that's why we put it out there. So on Tuesdays, we are going to try and clear Wing 1 every time. So you can bring who you want. You can bring it all. We'll figure out the composition. Some of the officers are quite willing to go back and bring bigger tunes in if you need to. So
yeah, and really useful stuff. So we're talking Wing 1, the first few bosses of Siege of Orgrimmar. If you look at your character up on Mr. Robot or even Guildox, those are two great tools for scoping out what good drops might be in there for you, along with the dungeon journal as well, looking at those bosses.
yeah, and even Yansu just typed into chat that she got her hunter up from 511 to 523 today. So it's doable. And like I said, we can help you with the tips and and tricks that can help you get along there. Now, here's what we're going to change up on Wednesday. Now, everybody see what phrase is in the largest font?
Don't die alone.
Yes. which what did we end up calling it? Our vision statement? Yeah. So here's what we're going to be doing it on Wednesdays.
Speaking as one who died alone a lot over the past few days, I can really, really appreciate that.
So yeah, die with us. Don't die alone.
That's just sad.
Yes. And and Mendeville says, and don't silver shard at night. Yes. So on Wednesdays, what we're going to start doing, instead of doing the R&D on Wednesday, instead we're going to be looking to take into Wing 2 and Wing 3, and we will figure out how we can, get through this efficiently and effectively. We're looking for that you have item level of 540, again, so that the healers don't have to, the healers can watch like the whole raid and the raid mechanics rather than focusing on one individual. We're looking for you to have 100k DPS. Now, if you're not getting that, don't despair. Go talk to Chris. Okay? And I think he wants to come on mic.
That's interesting. Okay, sure, yes, come. Bring me your masses. Yes, bring me. Yes.
Okay, so yes, if you're not getting 100k DPS, it's okay. But come talk to Chris and the rest of us, and we will help get you higher than that. And healers, we had a very detailed discussion today, and I think what we decided on what would be like the equivalent for healers isn't heals per second, and it's not absorbs, because those things change based on from fight to fight, but it's at 17k where it's really that. And Jerry, how did you say it, that you would be able to do the fight without running out of mana halfway, right?
Yeah, I mean we're trying to figure out for healers what kind of a concrete benchmark that we can give you all as a way to judge how close you might be to being sort of progressive raid ready. And as Kay mentioned, you looked at, well, what about making a mark of 100k heals per second, which I think, well, yeah, a lot of times that might work, but there are certain fights where certain healers just won't get there because of the fight dynamic and what's required. So that wasn't a really good solid one. And after looking at all the things that we could try to figure out, as far as a concrete benchmark and something that might be more reliable. After comparing notes and looking at our various tunes, we came up with looking at Spirit, providing a benchmark, a kind of a minimum benchmark for healers in terms of your Spirit score. So we figured from what we've experienced, if you can get your Spirit up to about 17,000, you should be pretty safe in terms of your mana regen capabilities, and that's one of the things that might limit your ability to survive and to contribute, at that level. So we figured, let's give you about 17k benchmark to shoot for, and if you can get there, then at least your mana regen shouldn't be something that will give you a problem. So that's the thinking that went into that.
And we're getting some people going, I haven't looked at my Spirit until now. And we
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jerry.
No, Randhurst is sounding off, and I'm not surprised at the number he's pulling up there for himself. He's really got some excellent throughput.
And it's helpful. It's helpful to me as a kind of fairly new healer, and I haven't spent a lot of time on this tune working on that, but I didn't know how much I needed, so this is really helpful to get a benchmark to know what to aim for.
And that's what we were looking at, because we pull out what we were looking at. We priest and druid and a pally and shamis we were looking at. So I think the only thing that we didn't look at was a monk healer to get this. So yes, if you're monk healing, we can go back and double check that. That's the only thing we didn't look at. And that's what kind of, like I said, this was a longish debate about what it should be. and that it really came out to mana management, that you could be getting great heals per second and then run out of mana, and it doesn't really help.
Yeah.
I have a question. What about if you didn't have a 17K, but then if you drank a flask of falling leaves, that puts you at 17?
Oh, you sound like a student there. we're gonna go for we want the mana. And that's why we chose it. It wasn't so much like here's the cutoff for people, and we won't take people below this. We also said that this was a goal for people to shoot for.
Yeah. So think of it as a bench, right? And I would even say, that's something concrete. And even though the heals per second at 100,000 is kind of a little bit fuzzier, if you could get your spirit up to around 17K or hit that mark, and as you're running LFRs and you're running some of the flex things and some of the other things that we're doing, and you're consistently watching your heals per second, you're getting up. You're closer to that 100K benchmark than not. I would say that's a good sign too. So use these kind of multiple measures to kind of gauge. It would be my recommendation. But the 17K for spirit is just a hard, something more objective and direct.
Yeah.
So even with the flask, if you don't have 17 before the flask, you can't go.
What we're looking for you is for you to shoot for that 17K.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be something like, okay, you're coming with the flask for 17K. Yay, I made it this time, and the next time, well, I flasked again the second time. No, we want this really as a goal.
Okay.
So we wanted it as a goal for people, and like we said, we'll work with people on it. And we'll give advice about, okay, so maybe looking at this for reforging. Okay, maybe it's considering this piece. But for us, it's a goal for us, for all of us.
Yeah, and the other thing about it is that the reason we're sort of talking about it right now in the guild chat is that really the spirit for healers, it affects what you're looking really at is you want to go look under your spells and look through what your in-combat mana regen looks like. And typically around 17K is the time where you actually are regenerating enough mana in the game that it's actually making your normal spells cost, making a minimal mana cost to you. It's usually sort of a net zero. Like for my pally, I use a pally, and if I use Flash of Heals, typically my combat regen actually generates more mana than that spell costs. So if you're a disc priest, you might be looking at Smite and seeing what is the mana cost of Smite and seeing what is your mana regen. And you typically want to make sure that mana regen is right around that part. So those are things that you're looking at. Is you're checking around, you're seeing your combat, because that's what's going to make the difference for you. Because the reason why healers are able to keep going and going and going with mana is because of your spirit. The more spirit you have, the more in-combat mana regeneration you can do. That's your key number. Your key number is, the spirit is giving you a goal to shoot for, but really what you're paying attention to is that in-combat regen. You're looking at it and saying, well, how much mana am I regenerating per second every time I'm in combat? Because you want that number to be as high as possible, because that lets you keep on going on and on and on with mana, because what you're doing is you're always playing a game. Whether you're really thinking about it or not, you're playing a game saying, hey, I'm going to cast this spell. this spell costs me this much mana, and you're breaking it down in your brain, saying, okay, your spell selection. Well, hopefully, this is how I do it. If I look at it and go, what's my cost? What's my mana per health point that I'm replacing? And I always want to cast my most efficient heal as often as possible because that keeps my mana up. If I have to use a really expensive heal, then I also want to make sure I want to have mana regen so I can make that back. And so that's sort of what we're getting at here, without trying to get too in depth. Is the reason why we picked that number is because that seemed to be the turning point where a lot of people stopped having the mana issues. They stopped having the running out of mana issues because their combat regen got so high with the spirit that now they're able to keep casting a lot longer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's, for some of these later fights, I mean, some of them, depending on your composition especially, can be really demanding, even if you are very, very efficient and you know the fight. I mean, so, you'll get, you'll just get really concentrated damage in a certain amount of time. So even if you're hyper efficient, it's going to tax, it's going to tax your mana, which is why, you really want, you want your mana regen to be helping out as much as possible so that you don't basically exhaust your mana and have to be sitting there doing a lot of nothing, right? Especially in those critical moments when after a big hit like that, you really would like to have the raid recover, right, and get back up to health so that we don't lose people. So that's from an experiential standpoint, that's the big benefit to you, is that you're not sitting here without anything in your tank to go anymore.
And I will tell you honestly, we didn't want to make it easy. We didn't, because we really want to progress. So we didn't want to make it easy. We wanted it to make something that, one, people would have to pull out and look at stats that they might not have looked at before, and also think about if they're not meeting it, how they could go about meeting it.
Yeah. And we didn't try to make it super hard. I mean, this is not a benchmark for kind of the progressive, where the progressive team is now. You have to kind of come up to that. We felt like it would be a stretch, but it's a realistic minimum, kind of a floor number, where if you can hit that, you've got at least enough of a baseline in your skill set and your mana regen and things like that, that we've got a good shot at bringing it in and having that be a good experience, right? Because there's still the learning curve of learning the fights, learning the raid awareness at that level and things like that. And again, you just don't want to have to worry about getting tapped out of running empty on your mana as one more challenge.
And because we are making it a benchmark, we are looking. And I see Grid saying, hopefully my new mouse will help me. But because of that, here's the thing: look to try and get that number. If it's something, well, if I look at this, and this, and you're starting that long list, then you aren't truly at that number, and we're going to try and get you to that number.
Yeah, so research it a bit. I mean, if you have questions and things like that, I mean, that's we're here for that. So feel free to consult with us. For myself, a lot of what I've done to this point in terms of the reforging and gemming and things like that came from recommendations from Ask Mr. Robot. A little bit from Noxit, but mostly Ask Mr. Robot. And as I was able to follow that carried me along. I mean, that got me to where I needed to be, or the vast majority of what I needed to know. So that would be one recommendation: is kind of study that and look at the recommendations. And if there's if you're still a little bit short, come and consult. We're happy to look at it with you.
And that's the thing about the raid that we want to do on Wednesday. The raid that we want to do on Wednesday, we do want to be efficient, and we want to make it fast. So before each raid, we're asking you to have the flask and potions already. So you would have already visited the bank, and you would have checked yourself to make sure you're jammed and enchanted and reforged. And when it comes to R&D raiders, you can bring your main or your alt, depending on who you want to bring. And the thing about it is, It's also okay if your alt meets these the requirements to be able to trade in and out. We should be able to do that really quickly. But really what we're going ahead and looking for is, here's what we want to really accomplish. Our R&D group, fingers crossed, will have Wing 4 down really soon. So what we want to do, yes, what we want to do is we want to bring a bigger number, more of the guildies to do a clear inflex, and that's why we're asking for the 540, the 100K DPS, and the 17K when it comes to spirit. We really like a second group of guildies to be able to do a full flex clear. And I know I put some dates that might be a little ambitious for a full guild flex clear, but I'd like to do that in September. Get it done by the end of September. Having our guildies being able to bring their tunes and start right at Immersius and go all the way to Gary and do that. And then October is then we get even more ambitious. So by October, if we want to try to do this on 25-player normal, it's as many of our guildies as we can get, as many of them with a cloak, and as many with a 560 item level. And again, we know the tricks to get you there, and we can help you with that. We can also help you with the 125K DPS and the heals. And if we only have 20 people, and then we'll look to pug the rest of them. But it would be really nice by the end of October if we could get our guildies to do a normal clear.
Yeah. So that's the idea, is to get as many people as possible. Give ourselves the ability to run like a 20-25 person raid. That would be just really awesome. Yeah, and have it be at least a nice experience for people. I mean, what's kind of a bummer is if you go into a raid like that, everyone's excited, looking forward to it, and you're like the first person to die like right away. You can sit throughout the next few minutes of the fight as a spectator on the floor. I mean, that's what we're trying to save people from. Give yourselves a fighting chance, and that's what we're trying to do, and trying to encourage you to kind of look at these things and get prepared, because it is a challenge. It's not an insurmountable challenge, but it does take some focus, a little bit of work, and so we're kind of giving you a heads up. But that's kind of the goal. That's the long-term goal, is that we really want to be able to kind of have those kinds of events and have people have fun in them.
And then you'll see the last thing, heroic before Warlords of Draenor. Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be a stretch. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a stretch.
So that is where we're going with it. And as far as some of the question, yes, 17K before the flask. And here's the thing: the goal for that, like we said with Cloud, isn't okay, I'll just make it to this mark. We're hoping you'll go further with your healing than just that. We really are. If we want to do this, if we want to get past a flex clear onto a normal clear, and we won't even discuss the last one, but if we want to do that, we're gonna have to keep pushing it forward. So that's So that's the goal. That's what we want people to do.
And then, of course, once we get into Warlords of Draenor, everything will get squished. And it'll take a couple zeros off everything. So that's definitely one of the big things we're going to have. One of the big adjustments coming up for Warlords of Draenor will be all these big, large numbers that we're talking about will disappear because they're going to squish a lot of it.
But on the plus side, if we really can move further along with this, I mean, we should be really well prepared for the content as a guild, right? So for running the raids and things like that, I mean, if we really can get to the point that we're envisioning for the guild in doing the current content for Pandaria, I mean, we should be set up for a really good time for Warlords.
And that's really a lot of it, because this year and I'm looking for Lorison has the mount. So I'm going to switch to Chris's screen. So we have a picture. There's okay, so there's Lorison with the mouse. Stolen from Gary. So Chris, twirl. So we can see it more. No. I mean, you twirl around him, yes, with the camera.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. It has a pierced nose.
Oh, that thing's huge.
Okay. Allison, we're asking that in Flex 1, when you run Wing 1 with us, that you would get that DPS. So your DPS isn't based on dummies, and it's not based on LFR. It's when look, we're seeing the really close up of the mouth. We're looking for when you run Wing 1, and we do know that the fights differ. So it would be quite honestly, the Shaw would probably be the best bet on looking at straight DPS, because Norshan's not going to be great, and Protectors, there's a lot of factors in there, and Immersius, is basically one target. So when you run Wing 1, if you're getting 100k DPS during Wing 1, that's what we're hoping that you'll get. Because if you can get it in Wing 1, once we get into Wing 2 and we get some experience on the Flex, that we then be able to get it in Wing 2 and Wing 3. Yeah, it does have a nose ring. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. And I mean, Tuesdays are a really good day to try that out. And when we do the Tuesday run, when we do Flex 1, everybody basically knows the fights pretty well. So it's a good time that you can start tweaking things, deciding on, will this trink work better than this trink, and just practicing, looking at rotations, deciding on, when the potion might work best for you. So we think Wing 1 is at a point where you can really play around during it. Okay, now I see we're still celebrating, but the other thing we wanted to say, yeah. So Wednesdays is Wing 2 and Wing 3. Really, that's what we'll be focusing on. The R&D group will not be focusing on Wing 2 and 3 anymore. And as far as if you need to get with anyone, we have Chris and Grid down for getting to being the main contact points for gear and training. Because no one knows fashion better than Grid does.
So true.
Okay. So
I guess I can't. I can't do that alone.
No, you can't do that alone.
No.
And the R&D runs will be Thursdays, and these are the earlier ones on Thursdays and Saturdays. And the goal for the R&D runs is finish Wing 4. So the R&D are not likely to be going back to Wing 2 or Wing 3 at any time when it comes to Flex. But it's also finishing Wing 2 normal and then on to Wing 3. So those are the goals. The Horde at Heart on Saturday night, the late night Saturday night ones, we're still going to do that. And again, suggested eye level is 520. Get with us if you can't, if you don't have it, and 520 will make your healer smile. Okay, dust off your alleys. We started that to hopefully run with another guild, and that we'd have enough people between the two guilds. This has not been happening. So because of this, we just want to make sure we're okay. So because of this, we're going to ask people to have an item level of 530 and a 90k DPS, and to know the fights, because we may have to have guests or visitors along, and we want to treat them well. Cam, yeah, I can definitely post these. I wouldn't say they're definitely going there tomorrow, but soon. but yeah.
I'm trying to make notes, but I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna lose this back of this envelope that I'm writing on. So
Okay, yeah. And I mean, here's the thing, guys. These aren't. Don't think of these as cutoffs. Think of these as goals. These are goals so that we can get everybody who wants to do a clear on flex there. They're a goal so that, we can get everybody who wants to do a clear on normal to do it. And so that everybody's participating, so that nobody's feeling, because there's nothing worse than the feeling like that you're not a full participant and maybe you're not doing your share. And I know I've been there. And so, like I said, this is really the goal so that everybody feels like they are a fully participating member of the team.
Well, the other thing too, I wanted to, in this, this is part of our thinking in the kind of the conversation as we're talking about this, is that as folks are doing all the work and they're hitting 90, a lot of folks are kind of beginning to express some interest in doing this N-level rating, and even the progressive rating, which is really cool. Because as many people as we have, I mean, the more that we can get into the mix, the better the experience can be. The thing is that, again, it's a very different sort of thing from LFR as far as the challenge, and also for the group that we have that's doing the progressive rating too. I mean, we have a particular level of focus in that, and it's what's needed for us to actually be successful. When we're doing the rating and making that be a positive experience, that we actually get somewhere, we're able to achieve. All these things are part of what makes that work. So I think one of the things we want to say is that we want people, especially if you're interested, you really want to get into that, and and that sounds like a lot of fun for you. We want you in there, but we want to make it work, right? So that's the reason why we're trying to put this out there, give you some specific things to shoot for, to give you a realistic sense of what it's going to take on that end. But know that when you're showing up, I mean, if you're showing up with this in mind, that you're wanting to move forward into that, we're showing up with that in mind, and we want to help you get there. I mean, that's really the spirit of this. It's not a cutoff. It's like to say, okay, look, realistically, we think you shoot for this, because then at least you have the basic kind of prerequisites, as it were, or basic skills or the basic capacities to have a really decent shot at it. And then it's just a matter of training you up and giving you the experience and things like that. But that's kind of to try to give you a feel for some of what we're trying to do here too on that end.
And Laura is giving us also some ideas. Mm-hmm. and don't worry about it. I mean, what I have to say is we're gonna have to work at it, and that's fine because we are a hard, fun guild. There's mm-hmm. no question about it. We wouldn't do this many achievements if we weren't that kind of guild, and we'll figure it all out. We've figured out everything so far. We will figure out exactly how to do it, inevitably. And I will tell you, it will probably look different than other people. Mm-hmm. And probably a little bit messier too.
Yeah.
So, also with this, we might be doing some fast and furious ones. I just put this here because just if we're trying to get to some point where we want to practice on a certain flex boss, we might make a call out for maybe, hey, who can help us, quickly run through these two so that on Saturday we can do this third one in the series. So be looking for those. I know some people have done them with us before, but please keep looking for those. And then we're almost wrapping up for our works in progress. So, our summer book study, yay! It has been off to a good start. And if anybody else wants to chime in, please do, because I am finding, how can I say this? It's fun with only one hundredth of the work of the Games MOOC. So I'm really enjoying it.
I kind of missed the Saturday broadcast because I was out of town, but I watched it later, and I recommend everybody to watch it because it's kind of gives you a more just listening to the panel talking about the characters and stuff, it clarified some things, and I can see that there's a whole lot of participation on the Google Plus thing. And I think tonight, if you want to do the other track, tonight's the night to maybe catch up and read those few things that Sherry asked us to read, if you want to do track 2, because that is on Tuesday. But I'm finding it fun as well, Kay.
Yeah, and the thing I was gonna say, this week was especially late on the book For the Win, and Blue is leading us through that, and me and Chris and Jerry too are giving virtual economics commentary. and the thing about it is, he only had us read 40 pages. So you can still catch up really quickly, and the week's not, and the new week doesn't start till Tuesday anyway. And then Sherry has given us a number, and she's academic, and she's given us a number of things to look at. But here's the thing: we know about lurkers. We also know that you can totally participate even if you don't do all the reading. So if you don't get a chance to do all the readings, don't worry about it. Come and participate and listen and everything like that. And as far as our inevitable broadcast that we did on Saturday, yes, I am in the middle of indexing it. Okay, so there will be smaller chunks. So when it comes to Sherry, we'll be broadcasting that at 6 p.m. over the GamesMOOC on Tuesday evening, and then the bunch of us will be doing another Saturday broadcast when it comes to the second one. And yes, here's a picture of us. Oh. And, yeah, this one was really fun because we started talking about economics and selling characters, and it was Leanne who found this on eBay, right?
Yeah, I think so. That was fun.
I found that.
Cam found it. Oh, okay, cool. I wasn't sure. And so they're selling a level 90 for $399.
And it's only eye level 488. Not worth it.
We discovered that it would be less expensive just to go ahead and roll a tune and boost it, because that's only 60.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that's the different debates we had about, So it was a lot of fun to use WoW as the example. It doesn't exactly match all the 3 characters in the book, but it comes pretty close to the fictitious game that one of them is playing. So we were able to show a lot of parallels when it came to that. So that's wrapping it up. Anything else that anybody would like to bring up or discuss, or anything else?
We need Jeopardy music.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. Not from my end. I'll just put in my plug for the book club as well. I'm showing up late for that, so I had to do a little bit of quick reading on the For the Win. But I have to say, it's been interesting reading. It's pretty light reading as well. I mean, it goes quick. You're not trying to plow through Tolkien or something like that with this. And it's actually really interesting the way that Cory Doctorow is setting up his characters. And so, and it's just been really fun. This first session was a lot of fun, especially to get different people's perspectives and how they're approaching and kind of what they're getting out of the same story that I'm reading. So it's been really cool to kind of be able to kind of see characters and see the story from these different perspectives. And I picked up things that I didn't appreciate or didn't even notice or think about the first time around when I read it. So it's just been kind of cool that way. So plug for the book club.
Thanks. All right. I think that's it for everyone. So thanks, everyone, for watching. You guys are awesome. And thanks for all the help you guys are doing with the guild. And look forward to accomplishing a lot more next month. So thanks, everyone. Bye.